if they could do that, what can you do?
We built this in a cave with a box of scraps.
He built this with a box of scraps. Right? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you talking about? That was real. That was a real scene. That's how real CEOs be. They're like, bro, they built that shit over there. Why you can't build that?
Yeah, why can't you do that? It's crazy.
With 2 engineers and an intern.
He's different.
What's wrong with you?
Okay? That's Tony Stark.
With 30 people.
But also, that's also because people thought Tony Stark was just like rich. Like, nah, bro, he's a genius. Like,
He was a genius. Yeah, he was a genius.
Mm-hmm.
What I will say,
I'm just underpaid, and
he cared about what he made.
Right.
He was also
and
going
how
to
it
die
went
if
boom.
he didn't make it.
Exactly.
Right, it was to save his life too. But
Yeah.
but I mean, but he was capable. You know.
Yeah, he was
Like,
capable.
yeah, Tony Stark could do that with a box of scraps. I can't do that. It's like, give the master a stone or a stick versus the student with the sword. You know what I'm saying? The masters go with that. Right. Understand? They don't need all that.
He's like,
Tony Stark in a cave with scraps could do more than I could ever do with a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, basically.
I'm gonna probably get a little flack for this, but Tony Stark did have help. I just want to point that out.
For sure.
Scraps.
Yeah.
He did.
Oh yeah, he had a bull. No, you're absolutely. Shout out to. I don't remember the. I don't remember the
Give
dude's
me
name.
him too. If you gave me him, I still wouldn't be able to.
But facts. But facts.
Yo,
you know what?
RIP to the minorities who helped the white people be great and never get mentioned.
Nah,
damn, that's
in fact,
tough.
gave his life too.
Gave
But that's,
his life, bro. Husky. Thank you for that, bro.
that's a fact.
Facts. Because you know what's funny? That's another argument against people trying to be haters on Riri Williams and Ironheart.
Now before we go into this, I have not seen all of Ironheart.
I mean, she's
Ah,
black and
why
old,
not?
and she was gonna get hated by all the racist people.
She
and
was,
misogynists
and I'm not.
anyway,
But the surface argument has always just been like, Tony did all this XYZ. We're not going to go into that. That's a whole nother episode about just fiction and Marvel and all that kind. We mentioned it earlier.
The white man did better than the black woman. How dare you praise her
but
also?
Tony did XYZ in the cave, and he was a genius. And people were opposing like what Riri was building, why she was doing it, all that kind of stuff. And Husky reminded us like Riri had the resources, she got all that stuff, but she's also a genius too. But she had the lab during Wakanda Forever. You know what I'm saying? She had the Wakandan lab, and then even in the series, I'm not spoiling anything cornered, like basically at MIT, you know what I'm saying? Like whatever. And then Tony, people argue, oh well, this is what he did, and then Husky's like, well, he didn't do it alone. And technically he had
That's right. Stuff. He was
he had,
using his own
and he was given stuff. He was given stuff by this terrorist organization because they wanted him to remake something for them to use. So he was given resources to do something with his genius. So it's like it's a very solid point.
Nobody.
Also, all I hear is, I'm better than the 2 black people in my small white town, so thus. It's like, no, calm down.
People that say that
you're projecting a lot over here, Mr. Man.
People say that about Riri. To me, I feel like they never read like her source material.
They said about
and Shuri, because like Shuri is like super smart, and Riri, if you read her source material, like you know that she had like the AI help from like I don't know if from Tony and stuff like that, but at the same time, it's like she was in Civil War 2, which wasn't the best read, whatever.
It was,
but I mean, she was in there, and like she was helping like with a lot of stuff, and like she was like super smart. And he said that she was super smart, so like
people know. But that's the thing.
Isn't it canon that they're both smarter than Tony Stark?
People,
who?
Riri?
I know Shuri is.
She
in like Marvel comics, Shuri
is Shuri smarter? Okay.
Shuri and Riri, I believe, was stated to be. Oh, this was early on. Like that was early on when Riri was first.
I know Riri was definitely
Riri was supposed to be stated as that. Shuri was stated as that too, but everybody said, and this is part of the flag. Everybody was saying, "Oh, that's because she grew up in Wakanda, and so she had, blah, blah." But it's just like it don't matter, right? Like it don't matter. Just be like she was like she's smart and is there with Wakanda. Like if Tony was born in Wakanda, obviously not. You know what I'm saying? Then he would have had that too. Like he would have had that as well, but. That's the thing.
Not like he had a millionaire father or stuff to like help.
But see, a millionaire father. Let's be real though. A millionaire father. That's different than Wakanda. That's still different.
Right, and you know what? And I'm gonna throw this in here. I'm gonna throw this in here, and I know we're getting ready to move off of that conversation. No, trust me for this, because this might feed more of your conversation that you're trying to say. So a quick Google search. Shout out to both answers. So I'll read them off both quickly. For the Riri Williams being smarter than Tony Stark answer, I'll just use the AI summary for the conversation for the sake of time. In the Marvel Universe, Riri Williams is portrayed as being at least as intelligent, if not slightly more so, than Tony Stark, particularly in terms of raw intellectual potential, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
While both are brilliant inventors and engineers, Riri's childhood prodigy status and ability to create sophisticated technology like a functioning quantum computer suggests a higher level of natural aptitude. Now,
yes,
Shuri, the question of whether or not, this is another Google summary, question of whether or not Shuri is smarter than Tony Stark is subjective and often debated. While both are brilliant inventors and engineers, Shuri has the advantage of growing up in Wakanda with access to vibranium and advanced technology, whereas Tony built his inventions from scratch with limited resources. Ultimately, both characters demonstrate exceptional intelligence and ingenuity, but their approaches and resources differ significantly.
My point
That's such a compromise answer.
My point, it ain't even a compromise. My point is that they grow up, right? And not only vibranium being key, but remember, motherfuckers didn't know how Cap shield worked. People didn't know how vibranium worked for real.
Mm-hmm.
They grew up with a different periodic table. Like their understanding of things is a little bit different because they had different things. Well, yes, but within that one element, you can do a whole host of other things. Like that one element now gives you the ability to utilize energy differently, create, destroy it differently. So like you could take that one element and have so many different outcomes with it. So now we're at a point where we're talking capability and access to different things. So yes, like Tony didn't have the, some might say privilege of working with vibranium. That's a natural resource. Yes, he had money, but it's a difference, right? Like there is a very distinct. He's working in iron and steel, right? They're working in vibranium. That is very different in terms of energy output and consumption. So my whole point behind this is, why can't they just all be smart? I don't know that it has to be the smartest person. Like it doesn't need to be this.
Well, that's one reason I was staying out of the conversation, because I only know like the top three, like Reed Richards and
Peter
like, all
Parker.
those. Yeah.
Is it the
Peter
character?
No,
I don't know if
I'm for like strongest. He's been top 5 like strongest, I think, in the Marvel comics. Now,
I was like,
my
I
bad.
know Peter's
My
smart,
bad.
but
I'm bugging. I'm sorry about that.
he's not making no quantum.
I wouldn't put him top 5 strongest either. Bro.
Yeah, me neither.
Wait, what?
About that?
Top 10.
I mean, top 5 strongest. I wouldn't. I wouldn't put Peter Parker.
Like what?
I mean,
Hulk,
physical strength. Are we
Namor,
talking? Wait.
I was gonna say first you got to define strong, but this might be
That's another episode.
Yeah, that might be
another episode.
But
I can name 5 people that are stronger than Peter Parker right now.
I mean,
it's unquestionable.
Off the dome, like
Hulk,
Franklin Richards.
No.
Well, that's more of a powers issue. We're talking about natural physical strength.
Who can bench press more? Who can throw a car further? Right? But I mean,
you don't need to bench press nothing.
Silver Surfer.
He does not. I mean, shout out to Fantastic Four,
Marvel, and what I'm saying, like we can, there are stronger ones, and that's
classic Fukaname segue to a different segue.
Classic segue.
Right.
I miss these, but
Spider-Man is underrated. Spider-Man is so very underrated.
He is, but he's not in the Panther. He's just underrated, right? But he's not in the Panther.
I mean, I would. What if he arm wrestled Thor? Thor would snap his shit off. As he should.
I can imagine it too. All you hear is a.
I mean, maybe he puts
Mr.
up
Stark, my arm doesn't feel so good.
No, but I'd be a dead ass. You know what I'm saying? Like that should happen. That should happen. Like I can name 5 Asgardians who's stronger than Peter Parker. So
sure.